I welcome you all in this evening session. Uh, Nice to see the gathering of all stalwarts and looking at the participants. And as rightly author Vijaya Madam told that it's really a very good gathering. Today we are gathered here we are hearing from author the Exploring Flora and Fauna of Aditi Garden, Magarpatta city. This is the book we have selected this time for our Nisarga Ek Khajina. On behalf of Maharashtra Vruksha Samvardhini, RJ College Khardekar and Balasaheb Khardekar College Vengurla, I welcome you all. And now I hand over to Dhanashri Patil Madam. Madam, please, we can start the session.
Warm welcome on behalf of Barrister Balasaheb Khardekar College, Vengurla. And thank you very much. Maharashtra Vruksha Samvardhini Pune has started they have taken very good initiative to introduce the books. I think that is the biggest need of the era. And connecting Mumbai College, RJ College, Mumbai, people from Pune. And we have also, you people have also involved Konkan region, Sindhudurg. We are from Sindhudurg, Barrister Balasaheb Khardekar College, Vengurla. So, in just 10 days before, I think, I told Upadhyay Madam that such a book is going to be released. And they immediately gave us the opportunity to introduce the book through Maharashtra Vrukshavardhini, this Pustak, Nisarga Pustak Ek Khajina. So I'm very much thankful for that in the beginning. And today is my responsibility is to introduce Vijaya Madam. So we are very good friends through Bonsai, through Ikebana, and really she has written so many wonderful books with a very different perspective. Always, all the common thing I have observed through her books, I would like to read the list of the books also. There is a variety, we can say she is a perfect diversity person. So 21 favorite leaves of Ganesha, very small, beautiful, and the pictures are always very good. I'm a very big fan of Vijaya Mad. Her books are very good to take the science to the masses. That is the motto of our Indian Women Scientists Association. Actually, we got introduced with each other through Indian Women Scientists Association, Vashi, Mumbai, and we are with Kolhapur branch. So I think we first meet at the biodiversity conference at Panhala, and we got to learn such an interesting person. Then another book, Chodoshat, tells of blossoms, then biopesticides, wild forgotten foods, millets for children. In these books also she introduced she gave small opportunities too. So involving the team, I think that is a very interesting thing here. And the team building is her quality, we can say. Then millets for children, stories and spices, unraveling Tam Brahma cuisine. So again, you can notice the interesting diversity. Then creating learning gardens and mangrove magic. So these are books, and a very wonderful book, Kudukudu Kumbha, what we call as a what in Marathi it is called as. It is about the bird, and very beautiful story. She gifted that to my grandson, and we all enjoyed that. We still have that word in our mouth, we can say that very nice books all these are. So I would like to introduce first her as an author, but she is not only a writer with a vast experience of very good landscaping. Vijaya Madam has a passion for plants. She converted it into a profession, we can say, which is a very good role model for our students also, we can say. Dr. Virendra Desai, who is professor of our horticulture department, he has also joined, and we are also having 170 big trees and many other horticultural crops, as well as very good flora in our. So our plan is to write such a or make such a documentation inspired through your book also. Many such a people will join who are interested in writing such a book. She has designed and developed landscapes for leading corporates, hospitals, hotels, So she has also designed and developed landscapes for leading corporates, hospitals, hotels, educational institutes, and NGOs like Taj Mahal Hotel, Parsi General Hospital, Hinduja, TCS, and our Indian Women Scientists Association Vashi campus, which is actually a learning for the gardening, we can say. Then Paraplegic Society, Spastics, and JJ School of Architecture, as and so many such a gardens she has designed. And I think all this experience. Hello. Hello. Oh, please switch off your speakers.
Request to everybody, please switch off your speakers.
Chandrakant sir. Hello. Okay. So this is her biodata, we can say. I remember when we started discussing about this book, she invited us to her home. And Magarpatta city itself is a very good example of, I think, biodiversity, urban biodiversity. And Aditi Garden is one of that. So about this book, one very important point I would like to tell about that. She has gathered many youngsters as well as those who are from not science background or gardening background. So through this book and through this activity, she made it a event. So this can be a best example of a community involvement through the gardening and learning the gardening. So the book is very interesting. Definitely, she has given opportunities to the youngsters. Then many new things are arriving, or many new techniques will be introduced this book also, and her attempts are really very much appreciable. So I would like to request her. So through her speak, it will be better to know about the book. But I'm very happy that we all have gathered for such a wonderful book. So I would like to give the mic to the. So one more thing I forgot. She has started one very nice podcast that is bifocal naturalist also. That is also very important introductory part about herself. Okay, I think she has started sharing the screen. I'm sure all of us, all of you will enjoy it, and we will learn so many things through it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dhanashri. This is really wonderful. When a close friend introduces, it's directly from the heart. Thank you very much. I'm very happy today because, I have my old colleagues, Jaya and others, Adesh and Swedel from Namuna's Navi Mumbai Naturalists, and my co-authors, General Neville Rasquinha and Dr. Swedel Shivkar. I can't make out the others. I'm sure others also must be here. And of course, Latu sir from National Society of Friends of Trees, from various organizations, and from this Magarpatta Environment Club, which I'm a member. And I would say that today I have with me my designer, Tanvi Kalse, wonderful designer. She has really transformed the book. And Nandini is not here, Nandini Vanzara. She has created wonderful architectural drawings, which she has rendered, in a very artistic manner. And of course, we got support from Magarpatta Township, Mr. Satish Magar and his team. So I'm really, really grateful for all the support. And I would like to thank all of you, for inviting me, especially Dr. Neha Upadhyay, Dr. Vartak, and Dr. Dhanashri Patil and others to discuss this book. I'm really happy, you're here with us today, and thank you, for joining us. Well, this book is a celebration. Many people, especially children, they watch this Minecraft. Okay, Minecraft is something which focuses on destroying trees, before they learn to develop, before they learn to explore, before they do anything in this game, they have to punch a tree and knock it down. Just imagine if thousands of hours go into this digital games, digital time. I mean, what kind of mindset are we developing for our children? So it's very important. So why this book? This book is basically to change, and help people to conserve nature, develop a different curriculum, because every garden is a learning garden. There's so much to learn, and also develop a community spirit. So this is our agenda. Why this book? And then will be the story behind the book, reading from the book, and some of the pages inside. And of course, how to get your copy. And we look forward to an interesting Q&A. I have my team members here, General Rasquinha, Chintan Bhatt, and Dr. Ashish Changole, who will also help us through the Q&A. Well, this is me. And how do we read this book? We have a section on how to read the books. We have tips for different age groups, because this book is across generations, right from small children to senior citizens. And if you have a look at the book at a glance, there are about 224 pages. And what is special is we have covered around 400 species and more than 75 original illustrations. We built a team. When I moved to Pune, I didn't know anybody. But slowly, we formed a team. We got people who pitched it to make this book what it is today. And of course, we have 2 garden maps attached. Then we have QR codes, voices from the garden, and over 200 original photographs. These photographs we have for birds. I think Adesh has given a lot of them, Amrish, Durgesh, to name a few, Piyu and others who have contributed towards the photographs. Why this book? I explained because of, games like Minecraft, and children spending, more than 90%, almost 99% of their time indoors, leading to nature deficit disorder. Games like Minecraft. And I saw my little grandson playing this Minecraft. I was stunned, because the first thing you have to do in this book is destroy a tree. So, and we're very happy that it was Sir David Attenborough's 100th birthday, and we have used this occasion to dedicate, this book, pay homage to Sir David Attenborough. And this beautiful caricature is made by Kavya. And we try to show, people look at pictures, but they don't know where they stand next to a tree. How tall is it? How big is it? So we made efforts, and Tanvi did a lot of mathematical calculations to arrive at the human figure vis-a-vis the tree. Late industrialist and environmentalist, Mr. S.P. Godrej, always said, plant trees, ficus trees, because they are the keystone species, and they will bring the biodiversity back. And in this picture, you will see the umber and you will see the people. Well, how do we start the book? I used to come, I was a visitor to Magarpatta. I would stand by the pond and look at the water hen and look at the cormorants and the pond heron. The pond heron was absolutely inconspicuous, completely camouflaged. But when we went close, it started flying, and it would fly with its white wings exposed. And then we had all these childhood stories of cormorants, which the Chinese fishermen used to catch fish. And of course, the white-breasted water hen. This is one bird which loves to walk, and it tries to cross Magarpatta from the pond area to a little shallow area full of cannas and lilies. Well, what is a book description if I don't read to you? So I'm going to read a little. This is at the back of the book. It's a blurb. Do you know how Ishvara became Exora? How the fragile dragonflies survived for millions of years unchanged since before the dinos? In this 25-acre sanctuary at Magarpatta city's heart, the earth has always known how to tend itself. It has not forgotten. Walk here slowly, and you will hear it in the coppersmith barbet's pre-dawn call, in the mushroom surfacing after the first monsoon rain. We have Suraj, Pansare, who's done beautiful photographs of the mushrooms. In the dragonfly that outlit the dinos. Aditi, Sanskrit for the goddess of earth, is a synonym for Gya in Greek. This garden does not ask to be admired, it asks to be understood as kith and kin. And I'm sure every garden is the same. We belong to the earth. It is time we learn to give back. You can watch the beautiful photograph of the pond with water lilies by Mr. Manik Sharma. Well, what's inside the book? It's a vision, a garden, and we try to give a little bit of guide. Now, did you know? Did you know helps you to learn much more than just reading the book. It has an element of surprise, and you can get many facts and interesting and fun features which you cannot experience in the garden. Most of my books have mascots. I have Masti, the millet monkey. Then I have Madhu, the globe-trotting bride in my Tambram cuisine book. And here now we have Madhu, the bee, the exploring bee. Madhu is a name I picked up from a very, very close friend of mine, Madhu Pava, who's always wanting to do interesting things and a lovely person. And why the bee? Why the bee, not the butterfly? Bees are, besides being pollinators and connectors, they're also indicator species. And when you see bees in a garden, it shows the health of the garden. So the bee is very, very important. Then, of course, we have QR codes. And this time we embedded pictures inside the QR code. And all credit goes to Yukta Dhanashri Patil's brilliant daughter. So we have Dr. Eric Barucha. He was one of the chief guests for our book launch. And he says, this is part of the foreword he has written. This garden is a model for future ventures, the well-being and the spiritual value that nature bestows on us 24/7. By ecologist and surgeon, Dr. Eric Barucha, a well-known, a global figure. If you inside some of the chapters, it's about Aditi Garden, where you forget the city. You don't feel you are in this city. And this illustration is by my friend, landscape architect, Basanti Londe. Then we have the Green Kingdom. We talk about the plants, the different types of plants, the medicinal plants, the weeds, which are very, very important. Then the next chapter is about birds, bees, and butterflies, and of course, bats. People shun bats, but bats perform an incredible role. They destroy pests, harmful pests, and they're so quick that in midair, they can swallow a number of pests, especially mosquitoes. Then we have a chapter on small and hidden creatures, the ants, spiders, and the skinks. आता मराठीत आपण काय म्हणतो स्किंक, सापाची मावशी. Sapachi Maushi is a cold-blooded reptile. And, you can see them along the path, on stones, basking to absorb heat. And it's, when you see a skink, it is fascinating because not many people in urban areas have looked at skinks. And we have so many varieties of spiders, the golden orb spider, the weaver. Name it, and we have them at Magarpatta. The cycle of death. We always think death is the end. No, death is also a beginning. It's also a renewal. And then we have these lovely photos of Suraj here. And then we come to the people. Community is very, very important in a garden. If the garden has to thrive, it needs people, it needs celebrations. At Magarpatta, we celebrate Independence Day, Republic Day. We also bring in the dogs. We have a dog squad. We also have some dogs living here, and it's great fun when people come together to fly kites and celebrate. And finally, engage and explore. You can see my little grandson, absorb in doing some artwork, which was taught to him by Priya Patil. So Priyanka Patil, who is a wonderful artist, and she is the illustrator of 3 of my books. And then we have young Srihita, who did this sketch of bird watching on the spot. Dr. Ashish Changole is a naturalist. Besides being a physician, he's also a naturalist. And he talks that it is not important that we take the camera everywhere. Just binoculars and sketchpad is enough to engage children and adults. Now we move inside the book. We have a gallery of birds. We have around 80 birds, some migratory, some resident, some rarely seen, and some which have disappeared today. Of course, I request Magarpatta city authorities to encourage birds, plant trees, plant grasses, plant berries, plant nectarine plants, which will bring back the birds which are lost. There was a big controversy because of the roller. And I'm very fond of the blue jay or the Indian roller. And people say, oh, that has never, it was never in Magarpatta. And then out comes Dr. Shinde, a naturalist and a great bird enthusiast. And he takes out a picture he has clicked in Aditi Garden many years ago. But unfortunately, today there are no rollers. Rollers require, to be on very high trees and look down to catch their prey or take their seeds, So they need that kind of an environment, very tall trees, so grasslands, because they, require their feed diet depends on grasslands, and grasslands have disappeared from Magarpatta. Probably, we could start cultivating native grasses and cultivating habitats which will encourage these birds to come back. Then we have several butterflies, and Pavan Damur, I met him by chance. It was all because of Ashish. He's my guide and philosopher, Dr. Ashish Changole. He told me that Aditi Garden is exactly like Magarpatta. So if you look at our preface, it says Aditi Garden has trees from across the world, from South America, Europe, North America, Asia, India, Africa, just like the people in Magarpatta. People in Magarpatta are always on the move, going across continents and coming down here. Many people come down here to spend a vacation, even though they're geographically based somewhere else. So that's the connection Ashish has told me about. And he introduced me to Pavan, and Pavan works for Magarpatta city. But every day during lunchtime, he's out there in Aditi Garden looking and documenting butterflies. So each time we talk to him, there is an increase in the number of butterflies, and Neville and I are unable to cope with this. Then, of course, there are many, many small animals. Squirrels, are very, very active. They are, they know how to store for future. They know how to take care of things. And you can see them jumping. And for them, it's an aerial highway, the trees. And they jump from tree to tree. They scurry down the trunks. And they're fascinating to look at. Of course, there are also the harmless rat snakes. you can see. And it's very strange. Both the prey and the predator have learned to adjust and live quite a harmonious life. And they know when the lights will be off, when the place is dark, and when they can go about their business of feeding. Now, if you see the rat snake, it's very fascinating. It also, sometimes sits on top of its prey to strangle it, to kill it by its weight. It's a very fascinating feeding pattern. Yeah, we were talking about death. One of the people who inspired this book is late Mrs. Pai, or Auntie Pai, as my co-author General Rasquinha calls it. She has started a blog on composting. She just passed away a month ago, not even a month ago, less than a month ago. And the other person who inspired is my mother. Both Pai, my auntie, and my mother are in their 90s. But you look at my mother, every day she will go look at her plants, check on the water, nurture them. And if someone in their 90s can do it, it's a great inspiration for people like us. And then we have beautiful millipedes. We have these red cotton bugs. Children are fascinated by them. And we have hundreds of millipedes, coming out onto the pathway. And you can see them all hugging each other. And earthworms. There's not much of chemicals used in Aditi Garden. And we have come out with a green audit, where if you see Dr. Dhanashri Patil, when I started this, I think I forgot to tell you what happened beginning. We didn't know how to go about it because we didn't have a team. And we met Dr. Dhanashri Patil, and Dhanashri said, my daughter will help you, and her colleague, Dheeraj Magar. Dheeraj is our assistant editor, and both of them were a great boon to us. So the first 4 months, we just did surveying. We studied every inch of Aditi Garden. And then we had Paresh Punekar, who told us, let's get into maps. It's not easy, to create architectural drawings and also make them people friendly, because most of the people who will read this book and do not have any experience in reading architectural drawings. So we had Nandini Bansara, one of the most successful amusement architects. She sets up playstations, huge playgrounds on top of skyscrapers, amusement parks so she specializes in amusement and entertainment, and she helped make our 2 garden plants, one of the trees plant life of Magarpatta, and the other is the birds, butterflies, and insects of Magarpatta. And these are visually appealing and very, very reader friendly. Well, and before I forget, it was Dhanashri who advised us to do a audit, green audit. And we were a little bit foxed. How do we do a green audit? It's so quantitative. And my co-author and I had a little bit of, discussion. How do we agreement in disagreement? How do we go out? And finally, we came to a conclusion that we are not experts in green audits. We don't have the expertise, the equipment, or the finances to conduct one. So we went in for a very qualitative green audit. Of course, we have here Paresh Punetar, who has displayed his stamps. And all the stamps brought out by the Indian Post have nature in them, birds, butterflies, trees. And here you can see one of the posts is about the Bishnoi women protecting the Kejri trees. We have a Kejri grove at Aditi Gardens. And you can see this is the first eco-feminist movement in the world. And it took place a couple of hundreds of years ago. And these women gave up their lives to protect trees. Then we have another write-up from Chintan Bhatt, our botanist, who meticulously looked at each and every tree here and learning from nature. Dalai Lama, the spiritual guru, he says the planet does not require only successful people. It needs people who are healers, restorers, storytellers, and lovers of all kind. So we need people, we need all sorts of people to carry on the well-being of the people and the planet. Because people and planet are very intimately and intrinsically connected. So as I was telling you earlier about how we celebrate national festivals, the garden also celebrates Ganesh Chaturthi. And the same idol is refurbished and used year after year. And we have Dolak, we have here Rupali Kalse, who plays the drums, over here. And it is fascinating, the kind of people, the team we have, gathered. In fact, we'll come to it later. So then we have the dog squad here. We have a Diwali Mela. We also have artists, exhibiting their works. We have Sardeep Sharma, an amazing artist and a cartoonist. Finally, we said, what's a book without activities? It's very important. Play is a very, very important feature of learning. So we try to explore different methods of learning, learning by doing. Simply reading a book, you will only absorb part of what has been written in the book. But if you carry on the activities, if you participate actively in a garden, then you will learn much more. So together with our book, we have various activities. We have nature trails, butterfly spotting, bird watching, art in the garden. I think on 27th, we have a program, Art in the Garden, being done by Payal and Richa. Okay, so all of you all must, it's open to all, this is how you learn. Then we have created different word puzzles, we have matched the columns, and how to get children interested, bark prints. Bark is very fascinating. The patterns, each tree has a different bark. So we have, we teach children, and also zero waste recipes, the illustration of ecofeminism, Bishnois, is by Sudha Kanakapalli from Hyderabad. And Zero Waste Recipes is from my co-author, Padma, from Bangalore. We wrote a book together, and nothing should be wasted. If you see the Saraswat community, I keep telling this again and again, they have moved all the way from Kashmir to Kerala. On the way, they stopped in Konkan. Okay. And they have learned to use every part of the vegetable, because it was a hard walk, hard trek coming from Kashmir all the way to Karnataka. And most are settled, below Maharashtra in Goa, Mangalore, and Kerala. That is how. And so you can see here using drumstick flowers, tamarind leaves. We discard tamarind leaves. I remember my father would always tell my caretaker from the farm, whenever he came, that please bring tender tamarind leaves. I used to think, what is he asking my father? He could have asked for mangoes or drumsticks, but he's asking for tender tamarind leaves. But there is so much of nutrition in this. And this book also showcases food security and nutrition security. It talks of tree crops, simple things like the Indian laburnum. The flowers of the Indian laburnum are edible. You can make lovely bhajiyas with them. Even the neem leaves, Bengalis have a dish called Neem Bengan Bhaja. I think Dr. Paul is here. And yes, and she is quite an authority on Bengali cuisine. And we have so many things. I remember there was a plant my mother used to tell called Ponnaganti. Now, Ponnaganti means like gold. She didn't know. She moved to Maharashtra in the Western Ghats as a very young bride. She didn't couldn't recognize the plant. It is Alternanthera sessilis, and she would always tell us about it. How a young, old lady, widow, and who was disabled, had arthritis, and her skin was withered, and her eyes, she was blind. And her poor daughter-in-law had this Ponaganti or Alternanthera sessilis growing in her backyard. So every day, morning, noon, and night, she would give her mother-in-law dishes made out of it. And soon, one fine day, her mother-in-law got up, her eyes bright as buttons, and her skin glistening like gold, and she was upright like a young lady. Now, these are I'm sorry, you can't see, we have the botanical and the common names. I think, and almost every tree in the garden has been identified. And we have given numbers, corresponding numbers. So anybody sees a tree and wants to identify, they can look, and these are attached to the book. So we have given, there's a pocket, and in the pocket, we have given 2 plants. Just remember, this is not just Aditi Garden. These plants and the birds and the butterflies and the insects can be found across India and also in other countries. This is not just about Magarpatta city. We were happy, because we got a sponsor and he very generously, allowed us to go through the book. They did not question us. They gave us a free hand. I mean, that's what I love when someone, keeps on telling you, ye karo, wo karo, you lose interest. The authors must have the freedom to write. Then we have many small You see the mongoose. We have the mongoose at Aditi Garden. It's a shy creature and it comes out. There's a pipe. I don't know, it hides in the pipe, but we always see it coming out from the pipe. And there are ants. There are red ants, black ants. There are a number of ants over here, and birds are amazing. And like I told you all earlier, it is the pond which attracted me to Aditi Garden because it reminds me of my home in Navi Mumbai, New Bombay is all wetlands, and we see all these aquatic birds. And Vashi, where I live, Vashi, New Bombay, has got forest birds because the forests are close by. We have garden birds, and then we have also water birds, aquatic birds, lots and lots of butterflies. It's a fascinating world. Now, this is a video, made by our youngsters, Srihita and Asta, and Priyanka, under the guidance of Durgesh Patel, Durgesh Kamath. It tells us, about our Aditi Garden. And I welcome all of you all. My cursor is, yes. So please watch. This is Dinesh Balke, Ritik, Colonel Julius. This is Pavan. This is Shabirji. Well, how to get your copy? I think, there was some issue with the video. Durgesh, you think there's an issue because it was not moving forward? Okay.
Ma'am, it was moving forward, but there was no audio was not there.
Because, I thought the same thing was repeating rather than going forward.
Yes.
No, that's what happened.
It's okay.
It's okay, yeah. Well, I'm quite a novice at these video things. I've done it about 10 years ago. After that, I've never tried a video in my presentation. So this is how you get a book. And if you order it today, then there will be no delivery charges. Otherwise, we have postage within Maharashtra, rupees 100, and outside Maharashtra, rupees 150. So this is a razor pay payment. And these are some of the books. Gods, Greens, and Gripping Tales, Chodosh. See, these are based on traditional conservation practices. The 21 leaves, used for Ganesha would have gone extinct if they were not continued to use in our puja. Even Chodosha, which the Bengalis used during Diwali, if the practice had gone, many of these wild greens would have disappeared. Thank you for joining me. Please stay connected. Please visit Magarpatta. And I also invite you to visit the Indian Women Scientists Association at Vashi. And in final words, in every walk with nature, one receives far more than one seeks. John Muir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vijaya Madam. You can stop your sharing, and session is open for the discussion or question answers, if any. Actually, I think I will prefer to propose vote of thanks first, and then we'll move to question and answers, because it was amazing presentation. I'm speechless. This is the holistic book, I can say. This is the holistic book on the biodiversity. Because when we talk about flora and fauna, it just have the traditional way of, when we speak about the flora, it's a traditional way. The botanical name uses and something about the plants. And if it is of the fauna, it is similar way. But in this book, we will get the activities also. In this book, the presentation style is modern one. So modern techniques we can use for the documentation, and that is something very amazing and creditable. Thank you very much, Vijaya Madam and your team, on behalf of Maharashtra Vruksha Samvardhini, RJ College, Ghatkopar, and Balasaheb Khardekar College, Mahavidyalay, Vengurla. I'm very much thankful to you. Actually, this book, it is something, a very big canvas. It's a very big canvas, because nowadays this greenery is expanding on the background that we are cutting down the trees for our developmental projects. So when such greenery is expanding, we have to document it in a way which is useful. So our floras, they are not flora and faunas, they are not just the listing, but beyond that, the activities we are involving the all of people from all the things, means from the childhood to the senior citizens, various activities and beautiful garden. Also, ma'am, this is creditable that you have shared the credit with all your team members. It is not possible for me to give all the names, but yes, at the end of book also you have mentioned about the designs who have made, about the flora and fauna, the inputs of various teams and people to make this flora holistic. So it's a wonderful book, and I'll say that please, whatever the audience is here today, please get this book and read it. Reading is also means it's just like a novel. You can just on and everywhere there are, you know, the codes are given, so QR codes you can you can just so you feel that you are in the garden and you are enjoying the walk, and that's the beauty of this flora and fauna. So this time, a very different book, though we are botanists, we like the environment, we love the environment in the broader sense. We are documenting the environment. So exploring flora and fauna of Aditi Garden, Magarpatta city is a very good addition for the audience here. They can really purchase this book. I'll definitely appeal you all. I'll appeal you for the audience. Please subscribe our YouTube channel, Mission Devrai. This lecture will be there on the Mission Devrai YouTube channel. I'll share the link with Vijaya madam also, so you will definitely get it. On this Mission Devrai YouTube channel, we have various lectures by the many botanists, environmentalists, and the people who love nature. There are more than 300 lectures which are icons in this nature and for the nature and nature lovers. Please subscribe our YouTube channel, Mission Devrai. With this small words, actually, I thank to Dhanashri Patil madam also, because she has suggested this book, we should take it to the bigger audience. So thanks, Dhanashri Patil madam, the authorities of the BK College, and also the RJ College. Award sir, he must have joined, but he may be late. But he might have lately joined, but I couldn't see his name. But all these people, they make this program successful. So whole team of the book as well as our team, I'm thankful. And if somebody from my side, I have forgotten because I have driven away with this presentation. So once again, thank you very much, Vijaya ma'am. And now the session is open for question and answer. In the chat box, there are everybody has appreciated your efforts, Vijaya madam. You can also open the chat box, and everybody is saying that yes, this is the wonderful thing. Many of them, they congratulate the team, the Tanvi Khadse, the designer, Chetan. Yes. Hello. Who is there? Please switch off your video. Please switch off your video. Who has put on? Hello. Hello. Who is sleeping here? And please. Yes. So if anybody is interested, please, I can say you can discuss, you can express your views, and
Madam,
if
I
any
think-
questions.
Madam,
Yes.
Savarkar sir is there, I think.
Oh, Savarkar sir. Namaste, sir. Thank you very much that you have joined. Savarkar sir. Hello. I think the Phadke sir is also there. Sir, any comments from your side? Satish Phadke sir, please.
Yeah, it's
Yes, please.
wonderful efforts. Whosoever is involved in the project of this beautiful garden, and Madam presented it so nicely, giving attention to minutest living things in the garden. Maybe it's a creature or birds or even plants. So it looks to be a wonderful book. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Lettu, sir. Lettu, sir, please. Lettu, sir.
Hello, Vijaya.
Please,
Hello, sir.
please, sir, your comments, they are very valuable for us.
Yes, it's as usual, wonderful talk. I know the way you talk and explain and the uh, details you go into the subject and all that. Wonderful book and a delighted talk. Great. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Anybody from the listeners, if they want to express, please, they can unmute and express.
This is Vishwa Savarkar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
I mean, this is a most wonderful initiative. What I can say is that catching the imagination, not just of young people, but people at large. And I didn't know that there was such a wonderful work going on right in middle of Pune. This is really great. I mean, the book is very special. It's got photographs, it's got lovely sketches, and the attention to smallest of things. For example, I'll just mention the bark that was mentioned. It's a great habitat for small creatures, and who provide ecological services. I mean, this is something that would catch the imagination of people who have never looked at nature. And the book, I'm sure, what we have seen is absolutely wonderful. I congratulate everyone who is involved in this. Basically, the community engagement is a very important feature. Congratulations and wish you the very best.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Vijaya Madam, Savarkar sir, he is the conservator from the Forest Department.
Okay.
Okay. So his comments, they are really valuable for us.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Anybody? Yes. From your team also, if somebody wishes to
Ashish, would you
express
like to say
something.
something? Chintan, Ashish, Tanvi. Tanvi is our designer. She's done wonderful work.
Yes.
The young girl who is doing internship. I think she's just finished her internship with IIT, and she's in her final year at Ahmedabad Design School. Yeah, Tanvi, would you like to say a line or two about your experience with designing a completely new subject to you, this biodiversity?
Yeah, hello. I did not know much about environment, like all the scientific names and everything, but I enjoyed making the book a lot. And also that combining all the photographers and all the different illustrators for every other chapter, we have to like make a cohesive book so that all the photographers and illustrations, all the text and everything looks same. It was really fun making it all.
Thank you. What about Ashish? Dr. Ashish? You'll have to unmute yourself, Ashish. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Hi, everyone. For me also, this is a very joyous journey, that inner journey which happened during the process of the book. And Vijaya ma'am was very kind. And I learned many new things, or the same thing which I ignored many a time. So, from the nature. So, yeah, so this book help me to come closer to the nature. Thank you.
Thank you. Is my co-author here, General Rasquinha? Because he's in the US. I saw him. Neville, are you here?
Hello.
Okay.
Hi, Vijaya.
Yes. Hi.
Yes, I'm speaking from San Diego in the US and California. And first of all, Vijaya, heartiest congrats. You have put it across very well. And I would just like to add that Vijaya and I have been going around the garden for the past 10 years. You know, we and others, a group of small enthusiasts, would go around discussing various aspects of nature. She was a specialist on plants. I like birds. Some others came across with insects. And basically, we were trying to get the youth involved. The first youngster who came in was Tanvi. She was in a standard one. She'd hold her mother's little finger and come and join in and look at us. And there was another young girl from her neighborhood who joined. But it was fun. We finally homed on last year and we said, why don't we document it? Initially, I was hesitant. I said, I know how to appreciate, I don't know how to write. She says, I know how to write, you know how to connect. So that's how we got about it. And we went and approached Mr. Satish Magar with this idea. Satish was very kind. He liked it. He said, go ahead. Then the second point was funding. We are both retired people. He said, don't worry, I will fund it. So one major problem was under the table, sorted out. Then we got down to making a team, getting people to this thing because we wanted to make it as authentic as possible. So whatever has gone into the book has been researched. It is not story alone. It is authentic, it has been checked back, and only then it has been put into a thing. All said and done, it's been a great effort, and I'm very happy that people are appreciating it. Thank you.
Thank you. Is Dinesh there? Dinesh Walke and Adesh Shivkar? Well, Dinesh is someone, who give Dinesh and Adesh. They are so willing to contribute their photographs. Dinesh travels to uncharted places across India to document the plants. And I've always used his photographs. Adesh is someone I'm very close to. He's part of my birding. We used to bird every weekend, Adesh and I, along with our other friends. Are you here, Adesh? Okay, I think Adesh is not there. He was here. I saw him. And Dinesh? Okay. And then we have young Dupjang, from Northeast. He has talked to us, about many plants, the trees of the Northeast. Would you like to say a word or two? Dupjang from Rajiv Gandhi University, he's a
Hello,
PhD
ma'am.
scholar. Hello,
Hello,
Beta.
ma'am. Yeah, first of all, congratulations. It is really wonderful book, and and your talk is always very interesting. And it was very exciting, and it is very inspiring for people like us. I'm Dubjang Lipcha from Sikkim. So actually, I'm a plant taxonomist, and currently I'm pursuing PhD from Rajiv Gandhi University. So I got chance to work with Vijaya ma'am, contributing one story about the plant that I'm working on. That's white avocado, endemic to Eastern Himalaya. So maybe that will also come into this kind of book shortly. Thank you so much and congratulations. Nice to see you all.
Thank you. What about Neha Upadhyay and Amit Karulkar? Would you like to just chip in for a second? Neha does all our, we try to, spread knowledge and information. Our basic agenda is to enthuse, educate, and inform people. And Neha does a brilliant job of it with her team. And Amit is someone who, is from the military background, and he gets all of us together and does wonderful work. Amit, Neha, would you like to say a word? Yeah. Yeah, Neha, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. It's really wonderful. Congratulations to you once again, you and sir. And it's really amazing to be part of this beautiful journey because it has got all so many amazing people together. And we are, I think, a great team and we are learning so much from each other. And really happy to be part of this and best wishes always.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Congratulations to you too, Amit.
Hello
Hello,
all,
ma'am. Oh.
and congratulations, ma'am, and General Rasquinha on a wonderful book. This book is really a community initiative, as someone mentioned during your introduction, ma'am. It's something unique where people from so many diverse backgrounds and age and generations have come together to create this wonderful book documenting Magarpatta city's Aditi Garden and its biodiversity. This book is actually useful to me as an asset to spot and identify, as well as learn more about birds in which I am really interested. I thank both you, ma'am, as well as General, for creating this documentation of our biodiversity and making it available to everybody. Thank you so much.
And I think botany expert Chintan Bhatt.
Yes, first of all, congratulations to both the authors, Vijaya ma'am and Neville sir. Uh, it was a wonderful journey, to be honest. And I connected with a lot of people. Lot of people came in and helped in such a way that this was just like a dream. Like within 6 months, we could complete this work, and this is just like amazing achievement. Uh, really appreciated all the people who have come in and helped us. This is I would say this is just a book by the people for the people. This is the central principle for this book, and I really appreciate the design by Tanvi and the help of Dheeraj, who has edited the book, and a lot of other people who have joined it. And it was tremendous joy to have this book completed within such a less time. Thank you, Vijay.
Thank you, Chintan. Thank you. So we have
Hello,
so
Vijay,
many
ma'am.
more, but I think
Adesh here.
yeah. Oh, Adesh, finally.
Yeah.
And we have little Aranya with us. Let me just interrupt you. We have little Aranya with us. You know, we have Aranya, Ridhan, and so many young people who've contributed. Please go through our QR codes. You will hear their voices. Yeah, Adesh.
Okay, sorry, my audio was not working properly. Now it's fine. I just wanted to tell something about Vijaya ma'am. First of all, congratulations, Vijaya ma'am and Neville sir for this fantastic book. Um, this particular book is, can be made in such a way only by a passionate person. Okay, and I know Vijaya ma'am since last almost 25, 30 years now. Uh, Passion, respect, and concern for nature reflects in her work. And this book, I'm sure, you will all love this book and that everything reflects in that book. One. Second is, it's extremely important now considering the urbanization that is happening all over India and which is inevitable. But what is important is 99% of the people don't know that such an amazing wildlife exists in their backyard. And this book, I'm sure it will be a sort of a pioneering that many other cities can replicate in their this one, because this is extremely important that every person should know that even a small corner of a greenery, a small corner of a wetland can host such a great biodiversity and wildlife. And everybody, I'm sure, will be inspired to look from that perspective, that how, in urban biodiversity can be, we can actually make it thrive through all these small actions. And Vijay ma'am has actually, I'm sure has inspired me from that perspective. So thank you so much, Vijay ma'am.
Thank you, Adesh. Very kind of you. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm looking here for Dr. Mukul Mahabeshwarkar. Mukul or Supriya, if you are there. Hello. Hello. Mukul. Is there any thing which you can add or ask? Actually, madam, I myself would like to ask that if anybody wishes to do or document the biodiversity from their area. Actually, how you start and what some person, if they don't know and they want to document. So what sort of documentation? Because your book is something different than that of traditional floras and faunas. So just if somebody wishes to do what to do. And second question, in the chat box there is one question, that is Aditi Garden is a New Bombay Vashi. So it is not in New Bombay Vashi. Please ma'am, also answer the question that. And yes, please tell us.
Yes.
If
Magarpatta, Aditi Garden is in Pune. And you know how we started? See, one can never work alone. One is not an expert in everything. I used to be a birder. Every weekend, I would go out with Adesh, but I cannot call myself an expert in birding. So what we need, we need to get people who are enthusiasts, not just experts, enthusiasts, and who have the expertise in the field, and document. And you can't document overnight. You have to study for a year, look through the different seasons. And then you come out with your book or your documentation. Nothing can be. We took a year to work on this. We went through all the 4 cycle seasons, or in India, we have actually 6 seasons. So we went through all of that and we called in experts. We had ornithologists, people who are experts in birding, in insects, in plants. We had everyone together, people in history, because history, geography, it is also very important. Humanities are very important because we are in the Deccan Plateau, Pune, we are in the rain shadow area. So what are the type of plants which you can grow here easily? We have to look at sustainability. We have to study. And if you come to Magarpatta, we have so many conservation practices. We have grey water, we have composting, we have rainwater harvesting, we have solar panels, and we have STP. There are so many things which the Magarpatta organization has placed here. And there are schools. So children are there, who are the right, we say that children require the skills, and we say that we will hand over a nice planet to the children. How will they take care if they don't have the skill sets? So it's important as you're documenting to create awareness, enthusiasm, and education. So when your book comes out, when your documentation is over, these things will remain here. Tomorrow they will not cut a tree because it's already documented and it is here. They will not destroy some grasses because it's already documented. So that is very important, survey, research, and getting in experts, botanists, getting in experts, zoologists, people who are experts in spiders. We need lots of experts. It was Dhanashri who suggested the green audit. It never occurred to me. And now we find that it is a rare thing in a book on biodiversity to bring out. So we had lots and lots of people come to visit and we listened to them. And we tried to take in as much of the genuine advice which people gave us. I think one must learn to listen. That is the most important thing in writing a book. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Here are some, comments in the chat box. Everybody is very much pleased and amazed with this. Mukul, if you are here, you can unmute and say you have mentioned your, comment in the chat box. But if you are here, please. Hello. Okay. He's actually saying that we have to replicate this for all the corners, wherever the expansions they are there for Pune.
I have another interesting person, Chunam. She's
Oh.
also from the Northeast. And, both Chunam and Dipchong have taught me plants which I didn't know about. Yeah, Chunam, can you just unmute and say a few words, Bita? Chunam? She's also from Rajiv Gandhi University, and they have a fantastic
Yes,
guide,
yes,
PhD guide,
yes.
Sampran sir.
Hello, ma'am, and everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, very
Yes,
much.
yes,
Very.
yes.
Yes, very
Yes, very
Yes,
much.
yes,
Very.
yes.
okay. Ma'am, actually, I just want to congratulate you and all the authors. It was an amazing presentation. I was just so hooked up in your presentation. I just got excited by listening to you only. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Beta.
Actually, I'm working on lichens, but it was a very fascinating talk, ma'am. Thank you so much. I got to learn so many new things.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I
Madam,
want,
here is one. Hello.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
We have Commander Unitan with us, who has studied the Setu, Ram Setu. Commander Unitan, would you like to come in? Commander Unitan?
Hi, ma'am. Thank you very much. It was very nice presentation. And I only want to know where is this Aditi garden?
It's in Hadapsar, one end of
Oh,
Pune. Yes.
okay.
In
And
Magarpatta city.
how far from the railway station, Hadapsar?
How far from the railway station? Must be 10
Uh,
kilometers.
may I'll just answer that, Commander
Yeah,
Unitan.
Neville.
Yes, sir.
I'm
Neville here. Yeah.
I'm Neville Rasquinha, younger brother of late Noel. We met in a walk in Bombay. Brother used to stay in Powai at Hiranandani. We met in one of the nature walks maybe about 5 years back.
Right, sir.
And
You are in US now?
I've just come for a holiday to my younger brother.
Okay.
But
I
otherwise,
thought you were. Go ahead.
Commander Unitan is in
and
Bombay
this
Natural
Aditi
History
Garden.
Society and Friends of Trees. Very, very active.
Yes, I've met him. And basically, this is a garden in a gated society which is 430 acres. It was built by farmers who pooled their land in and made it into a gated. It's the first, society which is self-sustaining. And the beauty about this thing is it is a modern city sort of a thing. We call it city because it is part of Magarpatta, and the patta extends to almost about 8 to 10 kilometers. A portion of it is patta means the land, the land of the Magars.
Right.
Magar is a community.
Yeah.
So the Aditi Garden is at the heart of Magarpatta city. Around it has been built the rest of the city.
Right.
The garden, 25 acres are there. Around it are IT towers and the SEZ. And then radiating out of that are the neighborhoods where the people live and reside. And then there are schools, there are shopping complexes. You must come and visit, be my guest. It's a beautiful place which really creates the environment. Walk to work, walk to play, walk to school, walk for health. And you come in the morning and you'll see people walking without getting worried about being run over. The big broad roads and clean.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ma'am, here
Thank
is
you, ma'am.
one question.
Yeah.
Have you planned to submit your findings to the local governing body or a part of biodiversity register from your area? This is a very important question which is put by the Mukul Mahabaleshwarkar.
No, this is something, very new. I'm learning from you, actually, from Mukul sir. I think we should, but probably we will ask him how we should go about it. We have no experience in this, but we will take advice and I think we will do it. Yes, it's a fantastic suggestion. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Because nowadays the documentation, the registration of the documentation is very, very important to know our biodiversity. So his suggestion is a very novel suggestion, but very good suggestion, and which is very much needed. So please.
Absolutely. I agree completely with him, and I'm very grateful for the suggestion. We'll have a look into it, how we should go about it, Definitely.
Yes. And also he has suggested that it will be great if you see such efforts, the replica of such efforts in all over other gardens and everything.
Yes, that's what Dr. Eric Barucha, the surgeon and ecologist said. This is a pioneering thing and it should be emulated across geographies?
Here is one question by Pereira, madam. Enjoyed very much with the knowledge. What is the botanical name of Ponga tea plant? What
Of
Ponga tea plant? The question has been put in the
Ponnaganti. Yeah.
Panaganti.
Alternanthera sessilis.
Oh,
It's a weed.
Alternanthera sessilis.
It's
In
a weed.
Sanskrit, it
It's a
is
weed.
known as Matsakshi.
Yes, Matsyaksha in Bengali.
Matsakshi. Yes.
Because the leaf
Yes.
looks like an eye.
Eye.
Matsya is
Right.
fish.
Right. It's
Aksha
just
is
like
eye.
the
Fish-like.
fish-like
Fish-like.
eyes.
Yes.
Yes.
It is now prescribed by many eye specialists, ophthalmologists, because it's excellent for the eyes. It's a traditional wisdom, good for the skin, good for the bones, and good for the eyes.
Yes. 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 I think now our time is also saying that goodbye.
I'm very
So
happy.
once again, thank you very much. Dhanashri madam, anything from your side to say?
Yes, I'm very happy to listen, and I am very happy and feeling proud of myself also that I could be able to connect you. Both of you are
Yes,
from
thank you very
and
much.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much,
everybody.
Dhanashri.
Please subscribe our
Vijaya
YouTube
madam,
channel,
that
Mission
is
Devrai.
scattered all
And
India.
Vijaya madam, yes, definitely we'll get connected with you and we'll arrange some walk at your
Yes, you're
garden.
most welcome.
Sometimes definitely we'll
Yes,
plan.
yes.
We'll
Yes.
plan and we'll do
Yes.
that. So
And
thank you
one
very
last
much.
thing, one of my co-authors is there, Dr. Swedel.
Okay.
Terejo Shivkar. Swedel, would you like to say one? Because we work very closely together. We have a large age difference, probably 30 years difference between us, 3 decades, but
that's
we are
great.
very close. She's like a daughter to me. Swedel, would you like to just unmute and say a word or two? Yeah, beta.
Yeah. So first of all, congratulations, ma'am.
Thank you.
And you call me a co-author, but you are my mentor, actually. I have been learning a lot from you, and a wonderful. And I hope you come out with more such books. It's a wonderful book. Thank you so much for this presentation.
Thank you, Swedel. Thank you.
Excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm a viewer. I got in because Chintan Bhatt, one of my teachers, he's a mentor to me. He asked me to attend. So, ma'am, I want to say that the book is absolutely beautiful. I got a chance to really spend time with it for a few minutes. I loved that I rarely see anything like that for something botanical in our country. And it is extremely important that you make more such resources available. And as I have spent time reading with young children, so I collect books like this, I will definitely be getting one for myself. I don't live in that part of Pune, but I'm so proud that one of these books, a book like this is made for a garden in my city. I feel really proud. And I wish that, like Magarpatta, if they have a reading room, which they probably do, but if all builders were encouraged to create such spaces in the center of these gated communities where we can house these kinds of beautiful curations as they come out, because community really needs to be bound together. I can hear that y'all have really, like, this has been a birthing of a beautiful book through community work that all of you put in.
Thank you.
So
thank you. Thanks.
Yes.
Thanks. Vijay madam, please, can you share your last slide with the QR code, because it has been requested by the people. So just they can get down your number or your email ID and QR code. And we will stop because the time is running short now. Yes.
No, this is
It
not.
has
This
been
is my-
suggested by some, our listeners.
This is the one.
Yes.
This is the one.
Get. So, Vijay madam, if you can share your email ID or the
Vijaya.
yes, you can. You can just
Vijaya.chakravarty@gmail.com. You can see Vijaya Chakravarty, Vijaya.chakravarty@gmail.com. Also,
so people can request on her email ID, get contact with.
Yes.
You can connect with her and you can express or call for the book.
Yeah, Vijaya.chakravarty@gmail.com. It is there in the slides. Once it comes up, you will be able to see it.
Yes. And this presentation will be available in public domain, so people, they can enjoy it again and again look at it and enjoy it. Okay. So with this word, I think we can, stop today's presentation.